The Fall of a Rich Man. I was a rich man. I had everything: money, cars, houses. People respected me. Wherever I went, people smiled and greeted me. I felt powerful. I thought nothing could stop me. Every morning I wore my best suit. I looked in the mirror and smiled. I am the king of my world, I said. My company was big, my workers obeyed me, and my bank account was full. I never worried. If I had a problem, I paid to fix it. If someone was against me, I removed them. I believed success would never leave me. I thought I was smarter than everyone. I thought I was better than everyone. One day a friend warned me. "Be careful," he said. "Money does not last forever." I laughed. "I will always be rich," I said. "That will never change." But life is strange. One day, everything started to change. My company lost a big deal. My stocks went down. I told myself, it is just a small problem. But the small problem became big. The banks called me. "You must pay your loans," they said. I ignored them. I believed I could fix everything, but I was wrong. Everything was falling apart. At first I did not worry. I was still rich. I had houses, cars, and expensive suits. I thought, this is just a small problem. I will fix it. But I was wrong. The company lost more money. Clients left. My workers looked at me with fear in their eyes. Some whispered behind my back. Others sent me emails saying they were leaving. I told myself, they are weak. I do not need them. But deep inside I felt something strange. Was I losing control? The banks called me again. "You must pay now," they said. I laughed. "I will pay soon," I told them. But I had no plan. I had no answer. One day I went to my office and my assistant was gone. My office was empty. Papers were everywhere. I opened my laptop. My accounts were frozen. I could not believe it. How is this possible? I asked myself. Then I heard a knock on the door. It was a man in a black suit. "You have no money left," he said. His voice was cold. His eyes had no emotion. "You must leave this building. It is no longer yours." I stood there, frozen. My office, my company, my empire gone. In one moment, everything changed. I felt the walls closing in. My heart pounded. My hands shook. I was no longer a rich man. I walked out of the building in silence. The streets felt different. The cars, the people, the city, it all moved too fast. I had walked these streets many times before, but today I felt lost. My phone rang. It was an old friend. I smiled and answered. "Hey, I need some help," I said. But his voice was cold. "I heard what happened. I'm sorry, but I can't help you." Then he hung up. I stared at my phone. This was a man who once called me brother. Now he would not even speak to me. I tried calling others. No one answered. Some sent short messages, "I'm busy," or "I can't talk now." One by one, they disappeared. The people who once filled my life, the ones who laughed at my jokes, who drank expensive wine with me, who said they would always stand by my side, they were all gone. I sat on a bench, staring at the sky. The wind was cold. My stomach growled. When was the last time I ate? I reached into my pocket. Only a few coins. Just days ago I had more money than I could spend. Now I had nothing. I walked into a small cafe. "Can I have a coffee?" I asked. The waiter looked at me. My clothes were still expensive, but my face showed my pain. "It's $5, he said. I counted my coins. Not enough. I turned and walked away. That night I slept in a cheap motel. The bed was hard, the room was small, but it was quiet. I closed my eyes. My mind was full of questions. How did this happen? Where did I go wrong? But there were no answers, only silence. Morning came, but I did not feel rested. I sat on the small bed, staring at the wall. My mind replayed old memories, big parties, expensive suits, fast cars. I had everything, but now I had nothing. I walked out of the motel. The air was cold. My stomach was empty. I needed food. I checked my pockets again. Just a few coins. Not enough for a meal. I walked down the street, looking for something, anything. Then I saw a small bakery. The smell of fresh bread filled the air. My mouth watered. I stepped inside. The woman at the counter smiled. "Good morning," she said. I hesitated. "Do you have any food for free?" My voice was low. I felt ashamed. She looked at me for a moment. Then she nodded and gave me a piece of bread. "Here," she said, "eat." I took it with shaking hands. "Thank you," I whispered. The warm bread in my hands felt like gold. I sat outside and ate slowly. People walked past me. No one noticed me. No one knew who I was. Just a few months ago, I was a man of power. Now, I was invisible. As I finished my meal, I thought about my past. I had been proud, maybe too proud. I thought money made me strong. I thought I did not need anyone. But now I saw the truth. I had lost everything. But maybe, just maybe, I could start again. I walked through the streets, my hands in my pockets. The city looked different now. It was the same place, but I was not the same man. I passed by a tall building with large windows. Once I had an office in a place like that. I used to sit at a big desk, wearing an expensive suit. People respected me, or maybe they just feared me. Now no one looked at me. I was just another man on the street, a nobody. I stopped near a park. Children played, laughing and running. Their parents sat on benches, talking. I watched them for a long time. I had never cared about these simple moments before. I was always too busy. Then I saw a man selling newspapers. I had no money, but I wanted to read. I stepped closer. The man looked at me and smiled. "Looking for a job?" he asked. I hesitated. A job? I had never needed one before, but now everything was different. "Maybe," I said. He pointed to a sign. "They need workers at the cafe down the street," he said. "It's not much, but it's a start." I looked at the sign. My pride told me to walk away, but my empty stomach told me to stay. Maybe this was my chance. I stood outside the cafe, staring at the door. My hands were shaking. It was strange. Years ago, I made million-dollar deals without fear. But now, asking for a simple job felt harder than anything. Taking a deep breath, I walked inside. The smell of coffee filled the air. A young woman stood behind the counter, wiping a table. She looked up and smiled. "Can I help you?" she asked. I'm looking for a job," I said. My voice was quiet. I wasn't used to asking for help. She nodded. "The manager is in the back. Wait here." Minutes later, an older man walked out. He had grey hair and kind eyes. "You want to work?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "I don't have experience, but I can learn." He looked at me for a long time. Then he nodded. "Come tomorrow morning. We'll see how you do." I stepped outside, feeling something new, hope. For years, I thought money was everything. I had lost it all. But now, I was starting again. Not as a rich man, not as a powerful man, just as a man.